INFJ, INTJ, INFP, INTP, introverted, intuitive, internal processors. You think in patterns. You feel in symbols. You live in meaning, theory, vision, imagination. But what happens when your inner world feels more real than what's outside? Have you ever found yourself drifting? Not from boredom, but because your mind is richer than the moment? Do you ever feel more connected to ideas than to people, more grounded in memory than in presence, more alive in potential than in reality? What if you've built an entire reality inside yourself, and now the world outside feels like an interruption? Let's talk about that. Layla is an INFJ, age 35, profession investigative journalist. She walks through the newsroom like a ghost. The voices, the neon lights, the hurried footsteps, it all feels muted. She holds her notepad in one hand, but doesn't look at it. It's like her senses have dimmed. But inside, NI is alive, connecting stories, weaving symbols, decoding a statement from 2 weeks ago. She's not ruminating. She's extracting hidden meaning. FE picks up the emotional tension beneath the words. TI checks it for consistency. SE, shut down. She's present, but only barely, because truth rarely lives on the surface. Theo is an INTJ, age 42, profession, urban planner. He's in a meeting with the city council, listening to a proposal for a new district, but he already knows it won't work. He's not being arrogant, he's just ahead. NI has projected the long-term outcomes. TE is structuring a better alternative. FI quietly runs a values check in the background. He looks straight at the speaker, but his gaze is somewhere else. He's not distracted. He's seeing what's next. He's simulating. The real world lagging behind his vision. Ayla is an INFP, age 27, profession, speech-language pathologist. Her office is quiet, but her mind is alive with images. Between sessions, she writes, not to escape, but to translate what she feels. FI searches for emotional resonance. NE provides metaphors, symbols, imagined futures. SI recalls the sound of a child's broken voice, the scent of chalk from her elementary school. Each detail becomes a thread in her story. She hears a phone buzzing in the background, but she doesn't register it, because she's inhabiting a space between language and emotion. And that space feels more real than the room she's in. It's not a fantasy, it's alignment. Sam is an INTP, age 22, field of study, cognitive anthropology. He's staring at a mural in a culturally diverse neighborhood. People are chatting. Someone says his name. He doesn't respond. Because TI is breaking down the concept of cultural identity. NE throws in variables, rituals, language, symbolism. SI recalls a seminar on structuralism from last semester. He's holding a travel guide in one hand, but he's not flipping through it. FE? Quiet. Not rejected, just paused. His body is on the sidewalk, but his mind is in a multi-layered abstraction. And honestly, he likes it there. So why do INFJs, INTJs, INFPs, and INTPs fall into this? Because all four lead with introverted, abstract cognitive functions. INFJs and INTJs lead with introverted intuition, NI. INFPs lead with introverted feeling, FI. INTPs lead with introverted thinking, TI. These are internal processors. They don't accept reality as is. They rebuild it internally. NI looks for what's beneath. FI listens for what's authentic. TI dissects what's precise. NE, auxiliary for INFPs and INTPs, adds possibility, variation, what could be. The result? An inner world that becomes coherent, meaningful, safe, but dangerously self-contained. The gift of this inner world? Clarity, creativity, depth, vision. The shadow? Detachment. INFJs assume others see what they see, then feel misunderstood. INTJs may reject external input when it clashes with their internal plan. INFPs retreat when reality feels too cold for their ideals. INTPs loop in mental simulations without testing them outside. It's not arrogance, it's protection. Because the inner world, predictable, controlled, personal. But the outside world? Chaotic, loud, unclear. So how do you stop the inner world from replacing reality without abandoning it? INFJs grow when they let FE speak. When they share their insights, even if they feel too complex, even when it's vulnerable. Connection is not a threat to depth, it completes it. INTJs develop when they trust TE to test their vision, to let reality offer feedback, not to prove them wrong, but to sharpen the plan. INFPs evolve when they let TE shape their ideals into action. To learn their dreams don't need protection, they need implementation. INTPs integrate when they activate FE not to feel more, but to connect ideas to real people. Because insights aren't meant to stay isolated, they're meant to be understood. The world inside you is beautiful, precise, symbolic, sacred. But what if it wasn't meant to stay inside? What if the choice was never between mind and reality, but between isolation and expression? Reality isn't the enemy, it's the canvas. And you're the artist. So tell me, when does your inner world feel more real than the outer one? And what do you do when that happens? Have you ever tried to bring it out through words, design, planning, music, connection? What happened when you did? Leave your story in the comments. Someone else might need your insight to unlock their own. And if this resonated, Episode 16 will explore how INFJs and INFPs often lean toward idealism, while INTJs and INTPs gravitate toward strategic realism, and how this tension shapes their decisions, priorities, and inner conflicts. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.